finally made it to Paris. You guys probably remember the video last year where I surprised my wife Sam with tickets to Paris. Paris, of course, being the city of love, and we couldn't go because of COVID. However, this weekend is our anniversary and we are finally actually getting to go on the trip. It is Friday and today we're going to Paris. We're in the taxi. We are cutting it extremely fine. The nice thing about the orange jacket is that you look like you work for EasyJet. So we have checked in, we're through security, and it's sunny, which is, in England is a bit of a surprise. Now, as we do on most holidays, I've downloaded a bunch of videos about things to do in the place. We're about to watch 10 videos of things to do in Paris. Maybe our video will join these videos. What are we doing now?
Waiting for our flight.
We've landed in Paris. It's our room.
Should we do a room tour?
We finally arrived at our hotel, which is the Hoxton in Paris, and we're greeted with this. So there's a little breakfast bag and you leave it outside of your room every single day and you tick on it what you want, and in the morning we're going to get different pastries and breads delivered in this basket. The room is really cool as well. It's got loads of like little olden day accents, a cool headboard, a little radio that's been playing in the background, and it's a bit too cool for us to be staying in.
Bit too cool for Karen.
We're walking from our hotel, the Hoxton, to get some food at this place we've seen online. We're in this really little cool bar called Baronan, which is a speakeasy. At the front of it, it looks like an Indian restaurant or a takeaway, but as you go through and you enter a back door, you get into this really cool little bar that kind of looks like an old Indian train. Like there's panels on the walls of moving trains. This is the speciality here if you come. Breaded naans. Breaded naans, naan is bread. It's these stuffed naans with loads of things on top. I can't really explain it, but we're about to eat it. How was that?
Delicious.
So cocktail bar number 1 is done. Time for cocktail bar number 2, which is a crepe place.
Cocktail bar number 2, which is bamboo.
It is now the morning of the next day and we have our bread baskets. Update are pretty disappointing and not actually containing any bread. I'll tell you what is in them though. We've got an orange juice, a banana, some granola with yogurt. So I think that means we're gonna have to head out for a croissant and a coffee.
Hello, so it is day 1 of Paris. It is now 10:30 and we're heading to get a Lime bike so we can ride along the river.
So we are unlocking these Lime bikes here, and one of the cool things you can do here in Paris is they've got these bikes everywhere. They're electric bikes, exactly the same as the scooters we have in Manchester, and you can buy a pass for 24 hours. So as long as you put it back within the 90 minutes, you can take it out again. So for us being here for only a couple of days, to be able to take it out and go wherever we want for a whole day is pretty ideal for about 11 euros. We are cycling along the River Seine, just past the Louvre Museum, which had massive queues, and we're going there later this afternoon. And now we are heading along the river to the Eiffel Tower. It's our first glimpse of the Eiffel Tower. It's the Eiffel Tower. Stopped in a boulangerie for a quick coffee and a croissant. Croissant count number. First croissant of the series. Probably a 3 out of 10. Could definitely be better. Very dry, a bit anemic looking.
Not the best.
I did get tempted by this pistachio raspberry slice though. Absolutely delicious. We've headed to Rue Saint-Honoré, where there's lots of designer shops and things like that. It's very quiet here, eerily quiet for like a Saturday in August. Crepe count number 2. This one is probably 8 out of 10, I'd say.
Even Beyonce said it's the best crepe she's ever had.
Is that not the biggest pistachio macaron you've ever seen? The queue for the Louvre Museum is absolutely insane, even if you've got tickets. So we read this guide about a secret entrance on the other side of the courtyard. So opposite the pyramid, which is the main entrance, there's an arc And apparently there's some stairs here where you can get inside the museum, obviously with tickets, not sneaking in, not that kind of YouTuber. And yeah, you're right, Musée du Louvre, you can get through to the museum this way. Guys, we've actually made it through the secret back entrance, and now I'm standing underneath the pyramid. If you are in Paris, 100% you have to do this. Back home, changed, ready. They seem to be having some sort of party at the Hoxton, so we're going to get a quick drink here before we head out to eat some cheese. So I made a bit of a mistake with these bookings. Got there and the guy was like, nope, no booking, and it turns out I booked it for tomorrow. So the guy very kindly squeezed us in, but we had a very short amount of time to eat our cheese and wine, and we had a lot of wine and a lot of cheese. But it was absolutely delicious. 100% recommend pain vin fromage if you are in Paris. So we're at this little cave bar that we found on Google. It was extremely average, but we did get a little cheeky game of chess in. Now we're heading to the Eiffel Tower to catch a sparkling in the night.
What happened in that cheeky game of chess?
No comment, no comment. We're at Trocadero Square. We're here in the night because on that hour, every hour when it's dark, it glitters, and hopefully we're going to get to see that. Behind us is the Eiffel Tower, sparkling at night, as it does on the hour, every hour for 5 minutes.
And it looks beautiful.
We finally made it to Paris. It's the morning of the third day. France is famous for so many things. Snails, the Eiffel Tower, wine, cheese, specifically a lot of pastries. So today we're going to be making them, and we're going on a macaron making course. Macarons are infamously difficult to make. 8:30, we're going to get some bikes, ride to the salmon making course with the local Parisian. I'll see you there. That is almond flour going in, ground almonds. There's almond flour, icing sugar, some yellow food colouring, and some egg white. Shells are made, now they're ready to be filled. Now with our box of macaroned out, as we ate literally so many of them. Probably had about 10 macarons, and I've got 2 boxes to go home with as well. Stopped for a mid-morning coffee after the macaron course.
Might become the coffee connoisseurs.
The next plan is we're going to try and find the best croissant in France before heading to Montmartre. Where is the best croissant in France?
Excuse my pronunciation. Le Grenier à Pain.
We're here for supposedly one of the best croissants in the world. Let's get your verdict of a bite.
Ooh, very flaky. Oh, they're delicious.
It's definitely one of the best croissants I've ever eaten in my life. So flaky and buttery. After the quick croissant, we are climbing the many, many steps up to Sacré-Cœur, Montmartre, aka Sacred Heart, which is like a big cathedral, churchy, religious thing. Top tip for Sacré-Cœur and coming to Paris, make sure you come around the back, because if you remember at the front it was incredibly busy, could hardly get any pictures, can't really walk around, hardly any people here. Great view as you get at the front and just so much quieter. Crep count, number 3, solid 9 out of 10.
I got a sable one. 7 out of 10. Hello.
Finished off in Sacré-Cœur and then we headed to some shops because someone wanted to look at some shops again. And then after that we grabbed a quick snack of some sushi because our dinner reservation tonight is really, really late. It's a restaurant that's quite hard to get a reservation for. Heading to Pink Mama, having Italian food in Paris, but still gonna head back to the Hoxton for a bit of a rest before we head out for dinner. Finally made it to Pink Mama. Got a glass of quick sake.
Oh, wow.
It's the morning of our anniversary, and so today we've decided to get breakfast to the room. We've got a latte, a pain au chocolat. I've got some avocado poached eggs on toast. Sam has got some
Smoked salmon. Poached eggs on toast for the holidays.
and we are eating it from our bed. Ignore the room, it's a mess. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's our last day in Paris and we cannot leave without, of course, having raclette. Raclette is a type of cheese. It's also the name of the dish as well, where you melt this raclette cheese onto things like bread and potatoes. It is absolutely incredible. So we've sat down to have raclette and this fat piece of cheese here is sitting in front of a heater. What's going to happen is when that heater's turned on, the top of that cheese is going to melt, and when it melts you scrape it off onto your food. It'll keep melting, you keep scraping, and that is a lot of cheese.
Too much cheese, even for us.
We've eaten a lot of cheese. Compare this to how big the cheese was at the beginning. Sam's feeling sick, she's given up. We're standing outside Notre Dame Cathedral, which, if you remember, was hit by massive fire in 2019. They started some of the restoration efforts, but there's still a lot of scaffolding around it. You can't go inside at the moment. There's these big barriers stopping you from going in. And there's loads of information about the fire that happened, which is really interesting to read and to hear about the generosity of people that helped. We are in the Hoxton again, grabbing our bags, having a quick last coffee before we go. We have genuinely found that this has been the best coffee we've had in Paris. Happens to also be where we're staying as well, which is very convenient. Subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next one.